Good afternoon, everyone. The American Traffic Safety Services Association is pleased to present today's Tuesday topic webinar, How to Get Involved with the ATSS Foundation. My name is Lori Diaz, and I will be your moderator for today's webinar. Please note that today's webinar is being recorded, and all participant lines will be muted during this broadcast. Today's presentation will be 30 minutes and will include a specific question and answer period at the end of the program. You can enter a question for our speakers at any time by simply typing in the chat box area and clicking on the send button located next to the box. And now it's my pleasure to introduce today's speakers, David Krahulik and Cameron Hutt. David Krahulik is the managing partner of Horizon Signal Technologies, a leading manufacturer of portable traffic signals. Mr. Krahulik has 40 years proven history of providing innovative solutions for the construction industry. He has been committed to work zone safety for over 20 years through the development of innovative products, education, and service. Mr. Krahulik's efforts have brought visibility to the importance of using state-of-the-art, life-saving technologies and best practices in work zone safety throughout North and South America. Mr. Krahulik's commitment to work zone safety also includes giving back to the industry, which he does through his service on the American Traffic Safety Services Foundation Board of Directors, and as a contributing member of the National Committee on Uniform Traffic Control Devices. Cameron Hutt is a 2018 and 2019 Foundation Roadway Worker Memorial Scholarship recipient. She is currently a sophomore at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, where she is studying communications. Ms. Hutt was awarded the 2019 Chuck Bailey Memorial Scholarship for her dedication to volunteerism. Dave and Cameron, thank you for joining us today. Let's get started. Dave?
Thanks, Lori. I thought we'd first start with talking about what is the foundation. The foundation works for a future in which improvements in work zone safety means no more workers' names need to be added to our national memorial, and no scholarships need to be given to their surviving dependents. And the foundation also works to support ATSSA's role in the Towards Zero Deaths initiatives. Our core purpose at the foundation is to promote roadway safety through charitable giving and public awareness programs. We're governed by a board of directors. Currently, we have 16 board of directors. These are individuals that donate their time and expertise to help the foundation in all of its efforts in both locating people who need our assistance and also the fundraising activities. And just as a quick advertisement, we do have 2 open seats on the board, so after this webinar, if you're interested, please let us know. And the ATSSA Foundation is also a designated 501c3 charity. A little bit about our programs, and we're going to start with the National Work Zone Memorial Program. This is a traveling memorial that honors those who died in work zones, including work zone workers, motorists, pedestrians, law enforcement, emergency workers, and children. The National Work Zone Memorial is always at the ATSSA convention, and it really is a moving experience to view the memorial, and we always have a lot of folks who know somebody on it and are there searching for a name. It's a very powerful tool we use to promote work zone safety and roadway safety in general. And again, it's a traveling memorial, so the memorial is available if you're interested in hosting it for an event or maybe a chapter meeting, something of that nature, and you can contact us at the foundation to get more information about that. Here's the current memorial schedule, so you can see we still have a few more openings this year, and then it's beginning to fill up again for next year. So if you're interested, please let us know. The Experience Camp Travel Scholarships. These experience camps are really designed for younger children of our fallen workers, and it's designed to send them to a camp to allow them to be with other children who've experienced a traumatic experience similar to theirs. These camps are all free. The issue has been the transportation costs to get the child to and from the camp, and this is where the ATSSA Foundation comes in and fills that gap. We provide funding to send the child and usually a parent or guardian to the camp and get them back safely home. So it's a really, really nice program for those younger children, and there's counseling and professionals there to help them with the grief process. The Roadway Worker Memorial Scholarship Program, we're going to be talking to Cameron here in just a few minutes, but that's designed for children of fallen workers. And what we do is come together and try and help them with some of their post-secondary education funding. We say college scholarship program or memorial scholarship program, but we always think of colleges. We also have helped some kids who are going to trade schools or other types of post-secondary education to help them fund that education and then get them off to a good start in life. And this is available for both children of permanently disabled or those who have died as a result of a work zone accident, or spouses. In 2019, we awarded 9 scholarships, and there you see our 9 scholarship winners. And we also awarded 2 of what we call our Chuck Bailey scholarships. And the Chuck Bailey is designed for those who excel in volunteerism. And this year we awarded 2 of those scholarships. So let's meet one of our scholarship recipients, Cameron Hutt. Cameron, I really appreciate you taking time to meet with us today. And Cameron, we had a chat just before we got this webinar started, and she told me it was in the 90s in Tennessee where she's currently going to school. So hang in there, Cameron. Winter is coming. For most of us, that's not a good thing, but you know, I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
No,
so
definitely.
I'd like to start today by just asking you to share a little bit about your father, if you're so inclined.
Sure. My father's name was Chris Hutt. He passed away in 2006 when I was 6, and he was 33. He was a foreman for a road construction company, and while he was putting up a speed limit sign, he was struck by a car, and he passed away that day. But he was a great man. He was the youngest of 8, so he has a huge family, really dedicated to his brothers, his sisters, his parents, and of course, my mom and my siblings. My mom she also has my younger sister, Katie, who was 3 when he passed, and she was 5 months pregnant with my brother, Christopher. And he was so excited about that because he always wanted a boy. But, you know, after losing him, we definitely struggled a lot because he was the backbone of our family. He was the backbone of his, family, his parents and his siblings. So it was definitely tough on everyone because he was such an amazing person. But it really provides all of us inspiration because we just strive to make him proud every day. So it's really benefited us in that way as well.
That's great. And we continue to offer our condolences. I know that's a very, very difficult thing to go through. And how did you learn about the scholarship program, and what was your experience? What has your experience been like working with the foundation staff?
It's funny because I actually learned about the scholarship program from one of my dad's old bosses. His name is Tim McNeilis. He owns Indiana Sign and Barricade, and he grew up with my dad's family. We've known him forever, and his company is a member of the association. And so when it came time to apply for school and scholarships, he reached out and, said, "Hey, Cameron, I think this is a great opportunity for you." And I am so thankful that he did. Because I have had nothing but great experiences working with everyone that I've met through the foundation and the association. They've been so welcoming and so kind. So I have nothing negative to say about everyone that I've met so far.
Great. And we were really, really pleased that you could join us in Tampa for the annual convention and traffic expo. Could you tell us a little bit about your experience at convention?
Sure. I had an amazing time in Tampa as well. It was an honor to be out there, to meet everyone, to speak to everyone at the Sporting Clays event. That was a cool experience in and of itself because we have an annual golf outing for my dad as a memorial for him, but I've never had a clay shooting event for him before. So going there with my family was definitely an experience unlike any other, but it was a really humbling experience as well, just to see how many people were dedicated to the cause. But that's my life, really. So it was amazing to meet everyone there and speak to them and kind of share a little bit about my story. And then just continue to mingle and network with everyone in the association and the foundation throughout the weekend, and then to finish it off at the Traffic Expo was incredible, just to kind of see the new technologies and all of the new preventative measures to stop things like that happened to my family.
And while you were there, did you get a chance to visit the National Work Zone Memorial?
I did. I went there with my family and one of the other scholarship recipients, Marty. We got to go and find our father's names, which was really amazing, just to see, that he is in the hearts of everyone and everyone is able to see his name and remember the great person that he was.
Oh, and I can hear it in your voice. Once again, we really appreciate you making yourself available to be at convention, and your brothers and sisters and your mom too. It was great to meet everybody there. So what was your biggest takeaway from the foundation after convention?
I guess the biggest thing I took away from it is just realizing that I'm not alone in, my life experience thus far. I don't know of anyone my age that's been through a situation like mine, but to go to a place where literally everyone there can relate to me in some way or is dedicated to, benefiting the lives of others like me or preventing situations like mine from happening, it was incredible, for lack of a better word, just to know that so many people were dedicated to a cause that I feel so passionately about, that my family feels so passionately about, and to come in contact with a group of people that also feel the same way and can relate to my struggles and really empathize with my family in that matter was incredible and something I'll never forget.
Great. Well, lastly, we're very honored to support you and your educational endeavors. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about your future plans?
Sure. I am honored to have your support in my education as well. That's something that's really important to me. So right now, I'm only a sophomore at UT. So my goals for right now are just to really maintain my GPA, continue to be on the dean's list, and really focus on that and pursue some sort of career after graduation. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for. I am completely open to new opportunities. So at this point, I'm not exactly sure what type of career exactly I'm going to go into, but I'm very thankful to have the education necessary to succeed after graduation. So what that entails, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm excited to find out.
That's great. And just remember, you got a lot of aunts and uncles at the ATSSA and the foundation. So feel free to tap that resource once you do get to that point in your life.
Exactly.
Thank you, Cameron, again. We're so proud that you're part of the foundation family, and thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let me catch my breath a little bit. That was wonderful to have Cameron join us today. Moving along in our webinar, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Marty Weed Engineering Scholarship. The Marty Weed was an engineer that lived out on the West Coast, Oregon, I believe. And what Marty did was he was kind enough to leave an endowment. He had passed away recently from after a long battle with cancer. And his endowment provides funding for new engineers just entering the field to attend our national convention, to look at new technologies, look at and rub elbows with people who have been in the industry, attend our educational programs that are available at convention to really get immersed into our industry. So that's one of our other programs, and you'll probably see some engineers at our convention coming up in New Orleans that have been sponsored by the Marty Weed Engineering Scholarship. I want to talk a little bit about funding and how we derive our funding so everybody has an idea where we get our money. And really it's we get a lot of corporate contributions. Folks are very kind to the foundation, and then individual contributions. The chapters have really stepped up and support our foundation in so many different ways. And then there's private and corporate events. We have, for instance, an auction program where a corporation or a company will auction off one of the items that perhaps they manufacture, donate those proceeds back to the foundation. And we always have some other companies that do separate fundraising events. The 3M Wall comes to mind, and we've had some companies hold events at convention and donate those proceeds to the foundation, and we're very, very grateful. Everything we do as a foundation happens because of the generosity of ATSSA members and ATSSA supporters. And I want to talk to you a little bit next about the foundation events. We've got these are our big fundraising events. So save the date for Friday, January 24th if you're a golfer. We're going to have our 29th annual Golf Classic tournament. This year it's going to be at English Turn in Country Club. It's a beautiful course. We played there before, and that's going to happen on Friday, the 24th of January. Hopefully it'll be nice weather. And then our 8th annual Sporting Clays event. This is going to be held at High Point Shooting Grounds, again in New Orleans area. And the Sporting Clays have really grown in popularity, and everybody seems to enjoy it. And it's raised a lot of money to help support the foundation and everything we do. The other thing that we'd like to kind of announce through this webinar is we're going to have our inaugural foundation fun run. This is going to be held at the Audubon Aquarium, is where it kicks off, Aquarium of Americas, 7 to 8:30 a.m. And this is the first inaugural run. So if you want to be first in something, show up for the run. And again, we always need sponsors and volunteers and that type of thing. And let me just back up just a minute, if I could, and say that if you're interested in volunteering to help, we always need help with the events, whether it's golf, sporting clays, the fun run. We're always looking for extra people to help us. There's so many things to do to make this as streamlined and hassle-free as an event could be. So contact the foundation and we'll put you to work if you're interested. One of the other programs that is growing in popularity, and it's really nice, is the Amazon Smile program. You know, it's a great way to help support the foundation, and all you have to do is order your Amazon products and goods through the Amazon Smile website. I've got a link to it here, and we'll make this webinar available to you later on. But when you purchase items from Amazon, a portion of your shopping charges then go automatically to be donated to the foundation. Now, you'll have to set up your Amazon Smile, and you'll have to designate the American Traffic Safety Services Foundation as your chosen charity. But once you do that and you go to Amazon Smile, then automatically they will donate a portion of the sale to the foundation, and it won't cost you anything. The other thing that was recently kicked off was our planned giving. This is an opportunity to leave something to the foundation and perhaps start some type of legacy for the foundation, and it helps us support what we do. So how can you get involved, right? Companies and chapters, we're always looking for sponsorship. In fact, if you haven't been called by a member of the foundation board, you probably will be, to ask if you're interested in doing some sort of sponsorship in conjunction with our two big events, which of course the golf outing and the sporting clays coming up here. Host the memorial. The more people we can get hosting the memorial, moving it around the country to help spotlight the importance of work zone safety, I think the safer work zones are going to become. And then feel free to set up, if you're interested in setting up an auction from your company, maybe you're a manufacturer, we can work with you. We've got kind of a template in place to help you set up an auction and have the proceeds go to the foundation. And any fundraising campaigns that somebody has an idea for, that's how the mid-year bowling tournament was born. The Chesapeake chapter decided they wanted to do a fundraiser in conjunction with mid-year, and they were bowlers out there, so they decided that we're going to do a bowling event, and we've had it the last couple of years, and it's getting really, really popular. So if there's any ideas, we are open to working with you to help raise additional funding for the foundation. And individuals, you can participate in any of our events. That always helps us. And we're always looking for volunteers. No matter what the event is, we always look for folks to help us with it. So if you're interested in helping us with the golf outing, with the sporting clays coming up, even the fun run, contact the foundation, Lori or myself, and let us know. And I guarantee you, we'll put you to work. And then, of course, consider adding the foundation to your estate planning. For chapters and companies, you can make a donation anytime to foundation.atsa.com /donate. And I think the PAC was doing some sort of a matching donation to the foundation if you donate to the PAC too. So if you've done that, a portion of that will come back to the foundation. Identify eligible participants for scholarship programs. Our scholarship program this year, we had 9 individuals, and those 9 individuals was the most people that we gave scholarships to ever. And of course, with the 2 Chuck Baileys, that's 11 scholarships, and it's really grown. And because of the generosity of those that donate, we're able to increase the amounts of the scholarships. And if you know of anybody that is in a position where they're eligible for a scholarship, please point them toward the foundation. Relative to the memorial, if you know somebody whose name is not on the memorial, please feel free to contact the foundation and we'll get you the submittal information. Tell people about the foundation programs. Let them know what's going on. Do we have any questions, Lori?
Well, we've reached the answer segment of this web seminar, and we highly encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity to ask live questions directly to our speakers. We'll go ahead and take our first question. I do have one question, and that is, what types of events are most impactful to host the memorial at?
Lori, I'll let you answer that question while I catch my breath.
Sure. So what type of events are most impactful for the memorial is any type of event that's going to bring the public, the general public, the motorists out there. A lot of them may not understand about the safety in our work zones, and it's a great opportunity to teach our public and educate them of the need to slow down and unplug from distractions in work zones. Any event that might host media or a public campaign, a media event or a press event, like the National Work Zone Awareness Week event that's held each year. We do a big media event for there. We've invited scholarship recipients to speak. Anytime you have a family, a local family that you invite, they're more inclined to share their story, and it's really impactful for the motoring public. That's what sticks to them the most. So if you're interested in hosting the memorial, or if your chapter is interested in hosting a memorial, or you can think of some big events or even little events that it would be good to have the memorial there, please talk to Dave or myself, and we will work with you to get that. Let me feed through the questions. Oh, here's a question for Cameron. Cameron, you mentioned that you have 2 younger siblings. Are they planning to apply for the scholarship in the future or the Experience Camps scholarship?
That's funny. I actually was just talking about that with my mom this morning. My sister is definitely planning on applying for the scholarship. She's a junior in high school right now. So when it comes time to apply next year in her senior year, she definitely will be looking into the foundation. As far as the experience camps go, I'm not exactly sure where they stand on that. I'm obviously up in school right now, so I don't get to talk to them as much as possible. But I think it's definitely an option on the table. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. And let me see, do we have any more questions? I have one more, and it's It's getting the chapter involved. The question is there anything my chapter can do to get involved with the foundation? I'm sorry, is there anything my chapter can do to help the foundation find scholarship recipients? Dave, you touched a little bit about this earlier.
Yes.
Is there any other things they can do to help the foundation identify families?
Yeah, one thing that you can do is make sure you're in contact with your representative at the state departments of transportation, and specifically their personnel department, so they know that the program is available. And the other thing you can do is spread the word amongst the construction company, member companies, construction companies, even if they aren't member companies of ATSSA. Make sure you spread the word amongst the industry. So the more people we get talking about it, and that's why we try and do the promotional stuff we do for the scholarship program to get more folks aware that the program is out there.
Okay, great. All right, that looks like the end of our questions. If you think of any other questions that you may have after this webinar, feel free to reach out to Dave or myself. I think there's a contact information should be up on the screen. And with that, we must conclude today's webinar. Thank you again to our speakers for their participation in the webinar. We hope all the attendees enjoyed today's Tuesday topic presentation. To listen to the recording of today's webinar, please visit www.atsa.com/Tuesday topics and log in with your ATSA member username and password. All webinar recordings will be uploaded to the ATSA website within 24 hours of participation. Please be sure to complete the survey that you'll receive at the conclusion of this webinar. ATSA uses your responses to ensure the highest quality future educational offerings. ATSA will award a $50 Amazon gift card to the most thorough response to our webinar survey. Today's program is copyright 2019 by the American Traffic Safety Services Association with all rights reserved. This concludes today's program. You may now disconnect.
Thank you, everybody.